Hello, I'd like to introduce Rebecca Valdes. We're going to be speaking about women in recovery and how women would benefit from being in Solice. Thank you. Good morning, Rebecca. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
I wonder what it was that attracted you to Solice in the first place, how you first heard about it.
I first heard about Solice from a friend of mine who was working here, and he recommended it very highly. When I came to the facility and met with Gratar, I knew that it was different than any other rehab that I had been associated with. The concept, the idea behind it, the passion for the recovery aspect of it, not the business aspect of it, really attracted me to wanting to come be a part of Solice.
And how did you actually become to work here?
Well, I was working in the United States in a rehab, and very, very different concept. Always, I've been in the industry for a little while. I've been exposed to it and around it for a long time. And the approach has always been quite militant, very structured, very much no cell phones. You have to follow this specific way of recovery in order for it to be successful. That's not the case here. And I found that very, in the beginning, I was, unsure of exactly how it was going to work. But I've seen very clearly that it's far more successful than other rehabs I've been associated with.
And I've also worked in the UK for a number of years, and the success rate is pretty poor.
Yeah.
When I spoke about the changes that we could make in Spain as to what was happening in the UK, they were quite revolutionary,
Right.
And wanted to change it drastically. And I also felt that it would be really beneficial for females to be in this environment rather than being in the strict regimes that they were in the UK. How do you think it would benefit females in this environment?
I think that integration is important because that's real life. And one of the benefits, I think, of going through the programs that are offered here through Solice is that it's very real life experience as well. So it isn't complete separation, it's an integration. As we go through life as women, obviously, we have to work with men. And going through the recovery process, having groups that are specially individualized for women is one of the approaches, but also having the integrated groups as well, I think is quite beneficial. The weekly groups that we offer here at Solice will cover a variety of different issues that are focused primarily on women. We are biologically different. We're women. We have other issues. We're mothers, we're wives, we're daughters. And these are all issues I think play a part in recovering and the whole process of recovery. So we do address them.
Yeah.
They are addressed here at Solice.
I've always said to clients that I'm a human being before I'm a therapist. And I've always been aware of diversity with men and women, different races, different religions, different backgrounds. And I think what I've seen at Solice is how we embrace that.
Yes.
And watching females succeed in their recovery here only proves that the program is working.
Yeah.
And I wonder, as a female, when someone would come in here for the first time, and it's quite daunting coming into rehab, how you would settle them down and gently bring them into line with the rest of the program.
That's a great question, Stephen. Solice, obviously we're located in an amazing location in Spain. It's beautiful. The surrounding is quite beautiful. I think, but more importantly, the staff is very welcoming. We don't see race. We don't see gender. We don't see differences because, like you said, we're all in this together. We're all in the human race. And that's how each individual person is approached. So I find that it's just a very welcoming environment. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And also, I wonder, we see a lot of people in the drug world in particular, we see some really vulnerable and damaged individuals. And vulnerable females can be quite heartbreaking, and I'm speaking personally, and some of the traumas that some females have gone through. And for me, Solice embraces that and helps to support them to go back into society. How do you feel about that?
That's a very good point, actually. I think that the individualized approach, yes, we do groups, we come together, we all work together, but the individualized approach to each person who walks through that door, and the focus on working on their trauma that I found in this facility is the openness that the counselors, the therapists, the staff, the peer support, everyone who works here has some sort of connection to recovery, has someone in their family, whether it be a male or a female, a child, a far-off cousin, and they bring that to this environment. So it doesn't really matter where you're from or who you are. We're all connected. Yeah. We all understand. We've all been there on some level. And I think it's extremely important. Where I found in the past, I didn't find this so much in other places that I've worked at, is that there was a separation between the client's experience and the therapist and counselor's experience. That integration is huge. That gap, closing that gap and being in this thing together, I think is one of the reasons why it's so magical here.
I've been a therapist for a number of years, and I've always agreed and believed in the ethics and morals that we live by as a therapist. But one of the things that I found in Solice is I'm a human being first. I've worked in places in the past where if a group starts at 10 o'clock, the therapists are in the office until 5 to 10, and they march out with a clipboard under their arm and sit in the group room, do the group. When the group finishes, they put the clipboard under their arm and they walk out and go back to the office. And the clients don't see them. The beautiful thing about Solice for me is the number of one-to-ones a client gets. I know in England, they're lucky to get a one-to-one a week. In Solice, they can get more than one a day, and people specialise in different aspects of recovery. And how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I think that's that adds to the magic of what happens here. In places that I've worked in the past also, one-on-ones were quite rare, actually. And it is a part of the daily routine here. They can count on that. And one of the other things that you bring up an amazing point is that throughout the entire day, 24-hour period, everyone is working, talking, eating together, walking together, exercising together, staff, clients. It's amazing. It's this dynamic of working together, all together, in generally an equal playing field, if you will. Everyone is equal.
What we do also at Solice, which I think is quite amazing, is we take the clients out a lot, especially at the weekend. The other week, we took the clients out for lunch, some went shopping, and in the evening, I took a group of people, men and women, to a football match. On the Sunday, we went out for lunch. And it's really nice for the clients to be sort of going back into society. You can go out for a meal. You don't have to do drink and drugs. You don't have to have a wild party for lunch. You can sit. And the conversations that were going on are quite incredible. Seeing people change their lives. There's also at Solice, I don't know how you feel about the more senior peers taking an example and looking after the newcomers. How do you feel about that?
Again, this adds to another level. There's another layer here. I mean, there are many of the clients who graduate the program and who go on to come back to volunteer to help other people go through the program. There's something very powerful in connecting when you bring people who are newly in recovery to help others while they're going through that journey in the beginning portions of it.
There is, in the UK, it's an unwritten rule that you have to be 2 years in recovery before you can work in the field. I see that as, that can be quite damaging because someone can be in rehab and they say, I want to be a therapist, I want to be a support worker. If they wait 2 years, they can relapse and die in that time. Whereas by teaching them how to be a support worker and then study to be a therapist, that can all be a positive part of their recovery.
Absolutely.
And part of their therapy. And as you said, watching people grow. There's 3 females who have been through here recently who are all signed up to do counselling courses.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I find quite amazing about Solice is people come and they come for 28 days.
Yeah.
The number of people who sign up for another month before they've even got 2 weeks into the program, and the number of clients that have been here for up to 6 months is quite amazing. And I think it shows generally in recovery that you can achieve this. And to spend that extra time in rehab will save you time in relapsing and coming back again and again. The success rate here at the moment is just under 80%, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, that was really surprising to me also, the success rate. I mean, generally, we're looking across the board statistics, and I don't have all the statistics obviously in front of me, but generally speaking, it's a very, very low percentage of people who actually stay recovered for even a year, much less 2 years or plus, you know?
Just to finish, in the UK, the success rate of people who complete rehab and never use again is only 12%. But thank you ever so much, Rebecca, for meeting with us. It's been a pleasure.
Stephen.
And thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. It's been a pleasure.